So, if you watched my last devlog video, you would know I'm making a game called Project Cash. It's a tycoon game set in a small town where you play as a rich guy who has a lot of money and you have to repay it. And I have a fully working collision system, right? Right? So I may have done something considered scientifically impossible. I don't know how I did it. Scientists are baffled at this discovery and made them rethink how the entirety of the universe works. But somehow, I made a script worse than Yandere Dev. Now, I know this sounds insane. I may sound like a madman, and I kinda am, but somehow I done it. Now, you may be asking, how did you do this? Well, the way I had it set up is by having it so when the player walks into an area of an object, it goes to a match statement to check which object it is and then sets a string to the object name. Then when the player presses space in any interactable object, it goes to another match statement for the string variable from earlier to see which object it is. It then parses the JSON file and gets the dialogue associated with the script. Now, this may sound like an unoptimized mess of code, but yeah, no, you're right, it is a complete mess. So I decided to optimize it. Now, instead of doing all that jargon, it sets the area name to a variable, which is then cross-referenced with the JSON file when space is pressed and then it loads. The only exception being for something specific that doesn't use JSON. So now it's way sleeker than it used to be. That took up like a week of my time, by the way. I don't know how. I'm also working on animations as well. I made some animations for a thinking and talking bubble in Blender, and I think they look good. However, there is a problem with Blender. That being that the erasing system sucks. And this is how it works in basically any other program that allows you to animate. You put your eraser onto the part you want to erase, press the left mouse button, and move your mouse, and voila, it's gone. Straightforward, right? Well, on Blender, you hover over what you want, and you click to erase it. But then it gets rid of the part you erased and like 50% of the rest of the line. Or you can set it to point, which gets rid of chunks of the line ranging from small teeny sections to the entire thing. Now I know there's probably a way to have it function like a normal eraser, but after 2 years of dealing with it and hating it, although the rest of Blender's animation software is actually pretty good, I decided to learn how to animate in Krita and use that to animate the rest of the animations I need for the project. And by god, is it so much better than Blender. Everything's more snappy, and while you have to wait like half a second to play an animation, that's a trade-off I'm willing to take. Also, some absolute legend made a sprite sheet exporter add-on to Krita, which smooths out my workflow so much, it's unbelievable. Genuinely, I had no idea how to make sprite sheets, still don't. It just seems like a bunch of guesswork and hoping the sprite doesn't do anything that causes it to cut out. I also decided to make some of the insides of shops you can find on Main Street. My main idea being that you can go into shops to buy stuff, talk to the shopkeepers, or try to convince them to let you buy their company. There's this game on the 3DS eShop I heard about, it's called... hold on. Rusty's Real Deal Baseball. Yeah. So this game that you haggle with the shopkeeper to buy DLC. So let's say a DLC is like $2 on the eShop. You can haggle with the dog guy and you can get it for like $1.59 or a lower price. So I want to add something like that to my game where you can haggle for stuff with in-game cash. However, it seems like most haggling systems I could find consist of either the shopkeeper picking a random number for the price and you have to guess what it is, or you use this cool app. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. I think it's called like Goggle or something. Yeah. Use that to find the price of what it is and buy it for that. Now both these methods are lame, so I wanted to make something that doesn't suck. How do I do that? I don't know. I'm very much taking a Panzer approach with this project, which is unusual because I'm usually a hardcore plotter with, well, with basically everything else I make. Don't get me wrong, I have a lot of ideas for this project I'm not going to reveal yet because they're either half-baked, require a lot of work, or are spoilers for things I want people to discover. Wait, what's that? There's a creep. A scope creep. So my current rough plan for this game is a bit too big for my liking. It's basically a rule when making games to keep your first few projects in an engine small, and my current plan for Project Cash is, it's not that. I have a rough outline for a story with having to make large environments for each of the main 2 secondary characters you can interact with. I also had this crazy idea where you could go on an organ harvest and risk everything to harvest people's organs and sell them on the dark web. I think I could add all that content if I really wanted to, and I'm definitely doing the story because that's more or less what the current plan of my game is built around, but it would take a lot of time to implement and requires making a lot of new assets and code and other things. The current plan is to make a rough horizontal slice of the game and see how long that takes, then decide what to add and what to scrap. Now, this isn't as sleek as having a design doc, but if I did have a design doc, it would probably go through rounds of revision and plenty of stuff would be on the cutting room floor, so I'm going to stick with this strategy and see where it takes me. So yeah, that's it I guess. I haven't been able to work on this project as much as I like as I have other things to do, and figuring out things as an amateur game dev is like banging your head against a wall until it breaks. So that's the end of this quickish update. I'm also going to try and make more stuff that isn't related to devlogs, because then I can make cool stuff and also work on the game in the background. Yeah, that's it. How do I end videos? God damn.